Hello everybody, my name is Just Man and welcome to day 11 of the 12 days of Hallows Eve. Now before I read you the urban legends for today, I have a little story to tell you. So, this being day 11, tomorrow being day 12, and yesterday being day 10. Yesterday being day 10, today being day 11. And today I checked my calendar, it turns out that day 12 was on the 29th. So that means that day 12 is ending on an incorrect day. So just for you guys, I will be doing a day 13 and 14 just for you guys. So, enough talking. Let's get to our urban legends. Our first one will be the Vanishing Hitchhiker and Mothman. Alright, so let's start with the Vanishing Hitchhiker. A boy and his friend were on their way to a dance. Driving down a lonely country road, they saw a young girl standing at the side of the road with her thumb out. The boy stopped and asked her if she'd like a ride. She'd asked them if they'd take her home, but they told her they were on their way to the dance. The girl asked if she'd like to come. Or they asked the girl if she'd like to come, too. And she accepted their invitation. So they all got in the car, and she sat in the back seat. It was a very cold night, and she borrowed one of their overcoats. They danced all night, and when it got late, she asked them to take her home. So they drove to her house and stopped and let her out. Slowly, one of the boys remembered he had forgotten to ask for his overcoat. His friend said, wait until tomorrow. We'll come back. The next morning, the boys returned to look for the girl. They found her mother, a very old woman, at home. She said that the girl was her daughter, but she'd been dead for 12 years. She had been killed in a car accident at the same corner. The old woman pointed to a cemetery down the road. The boys didn't believe her, and when they went into the cemetery and looked around, they saw the overcoat draped over a headstone. Engraved in the tombstone was the girl's name, and the date of her death was exactly 12 years ago to the day. This type of phantom hitchhiker also featured in the urban legend about the San Antonio ghost tracks, but we're not going to have time to read that. Unless I read it on Halloween for you, which I probably might. But if I don't, then sorry. Okay. Alright, now on to Mothman. The first sighting of Mothman was in November 1966 in Point Pleasant, Virginia. Two newlywed couples were driving together on Route 62 when they saw a dark figure on a hillside up ahead. It was almost 7 feet tall, and it had red eyes and large black wings, folded back behind its back. As they watched, it spread its wings and flew into the air. They sped off, but the dark figure followed them, even though they were driving at over 100 miles per hour. Later that night, a man was at home watching TV when the screen suddenly went dark and it was filled with a weird pattern. Just then he heard a loud, high-pitched whining noise coming from outside his house. When he went out to see what it was, he saw two large eyes staring at him from the darkness. His dog took off after it and never came back. That night, the man was so scared he slept with a gun next to his bed. Another family in the area spotted a dark figure outside their house. It was almost 7 feet tall, with terrible glowing red eyes. The figure came onto their porch and peered through their windows. The family was so horrific that they locked their doors and called the police, but by the time they arrived, the creature vanished. News of strange sightings spread around the world, and newspapers nicknamed the creature Mothman. Between 66 and 67, over 100 people saw the mysterious Mothman. On December 15th, 1967, which is 10 days before Christmas, a major disaster hit the town of Point Pleasant when the Silver Bridge collapsed during rush hour traffic. And before I continue, if my camera turns off, that means my battery died. The cars plunged into the dark waters of the Ohio River, and 46 people were killed in that accident. That night, eerie lights were seen in the sky all over Point Pleasant. The Mothman was never seen again after the bridge collapsed. Many people believe that Mothman had something to do with the disaster. Mothman has also been sighted just before the other world tragedies, such as the tsunami in India, Chernobyl in Russia. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing those words. The wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, and September the 11th in New York. In 2002, the story was made into a movie, The Mothman Prophecies, starring Richard Gere and Laura Linney. A paranormal reality TV show, Paranormal State, investigated the Mothman mystery in 2008. And there you guys go. That is The Vanishing Hitchhiker and Mothman. Tomorrow will be another urban legend, and I'll read you guys 2 stories on the 30th, 2 stories on Halloween. And they might be urban legends too. Alright? Alright. See you guys on day 12 tomorrow with one of my favorite urban legends. Alright. Bye for now.